Hi guys, firstly, I'm so sorry this is 4 months late, but this is finally the review of taking Winnie Lovelock around Europe. Just to go over what we did, I drove to Dover, then we got the ferry to Calais, then drove from Calais to Berlin, then I drove us to Amsterdam, then to Frankfurt, then to Austria, then we headed to Slovenia, and this is where it all went. So basically the night we got there, it was about 10 p.m. we got into the place we were staying, and Wynn started stretching her neck out, kind of like a turtle really, or was it a tortoise? I'm not sure, but you know what I mean. And she was just crying and whimpering. She just wasn't herself. She wouldn't come near me. She wouldn't go near Grace, who was with us, and I was just like super stressed. She just didn't sleep the whole night. So the next morning I took her straight to the vets out there, and they said, look, she needs to be on like a 2-day bed rest. So they thought it was an issue with her back. I also called the vets in the UK, which was super hard for them to know what was going on. I told them the symptoms, so they also assumed it was a back. So my priority was to pretty much pull the trip and just head back to the UK. But we were so far away from France to get the ferry, so I decided to cut the 3-day trip to Croatia because we were heading further away from the UK, and I drove us to Lake Garda and booked like a really nice hotel for Wynn just to go on bed rest for 2 days. But after 2 days, Winnie was just like happy. She was kicking off. She was just great. So I was like, okay, assumed that in Austria she did a lot of steps, which we did, and also we were swimming in really cold lakes, which was such a stupid decision on my behalf because it was just too cold and my muscles were tense and sore from going in there. So obviously Wynn's was too. Also bear in mind I was super stressed because I again stupidly kicked Winnie's ball in a rose bush in Amsterdam and she cut her ear. So look, at the end of the day, if you're going abroad, just make wiser and better decisions than I did. Anyway, back to it. So the lakes in Italy, we did Lake Garda and Lake Como. We drove, I think it was like 3 hours from Garda to Como, but the lakes there were like much warmer. Winnie was just feeling great. So I was like, great. 4 days later, we just started having some fun, going in the water and stuff. At this point, we were going to stop off at Switzerland and then do Paris and another couple places in France. But the last day of Lake Como, Wynn started doing the stretch with her neck again and she was limping. So at this point, I was like, absolutely not. I'm driving straight through the countries. We're going back to the UK now. So I drove from Italy through to Switzerland, then to France, which took me around 10 to 12 hours, as any dog owner would be. And I was just crying, just so emotional over Winnie. I was also super tired as well. So yeah, I just wanted to get back home. But listen, on a serious one, we had an amazing first half of the trip, and I'll definitely be taking Winnie Lovelock to Europe again. Probably like Spain or France, and just stay there, rent a villa, make sure there's a nice pool that she can swim in and stuff. But I would personally, if I were you guys, do a few countries and stay there longer. But again, we did so many fun things. If you haven't seen any of our videos from Europe, go check them out. We did have so much fun. There's loads of dog friendly things to do in Berlin. Amsterdam was amazing. Austria for me was like 10 out of 10 though, like my favorite place, except for the cold lakes, obviously, now looking back. But yeah, I'd highly recommend doing it all. I'll take a breath now, but I hope this was an okay review. I've tried to be as honest as possible. Again, really, really great to take your dog abroad. Just don't do silly mistakes that I did. All right, bye.